Here we are in England, London, Trafalgar Square. Nelson something. Trafalgar Square. Only the Queen can go through the center. We're on the other side now. I think this is the mall here, this big road.
You on the pavement, you like you can do me, there's 2 horses that come down here. You won't do that.
Get it? Quickly, because we've got to get cracking. We've got stuff to see, but that's the lake and the distance, all scarred. This here is the Queen Victoria Memorial. It commemorates the life of the Queen Victoria, our longest reigning monarch and the first one to live at Buckingham Palace. She was monarch from the age of 18 for the following 64 years. She actually died in the Isle of Wight at Osborne House in 1901. 64 years Queen. So the Queen's got another 13, 14 years before she exceeds that. She's well on the way. Who knows? Want to see Buckingham Palace? Yes.
Buckingham Palace.
I don't want to go in there, though.
Westminister Abbey. Sound of Big Ben. Ferris wheel.
I was confused. The second time was when I was coming in here on nights and left my car 4 times.
Sure line. The Thames. Going on a boat tour over there in a minute. The slowest moving Ferris wheel in the world, I think.
They were built at a cost of £12 million each. They've recently been named, about 2-3 weeks ago now, by the Queen, and they was opened around 8 months 1951. Back there, that's said to be London's leading concert hall. The acoustics inside that building are meant to be superb. Now it is fully soundproof from that noisy Charing Cross Railway Bridge just behind us there. Now if we go back over to the left-hand side, you'll see a tall stone column there with some funny squiggly stuff on it. That's Cleopatra's Needle. Now that's London's oldest monument. It's over 3,500 years old, and that was presented to the British people by the Egyptian government for Lord Admiral Nelson's victory over the French fleet in the Battle of the River Nile. Second World War, where it did earn its nickname, the Ladies' Bridge. The reason for this being is that most of the men were fighting the war. It was built around London. The bridge, it gets a thorough clean. Now if you look on smaller theatres, there are the Littleton, the Cottesloe and the Olivier. Now this was a building voted by 3 of London's leading architects to be the ugliest building on the banks of the River Thames. It was even voted by Prince Charles that it did resemble the back end of a nuclear power station. Now as we all know, Charlie, he does prefer the older things in life, such as that building to our left-hand side there, some desks were kept, where it did earn its nickname the Hatcham, Matcham and Dispatcham Department. It's now partly owned by a criminal organisation who like to go by the name of the Inland Revenue. Now if we stay to our left, we've got this first one that does wish to enter the city. They have to pass by one of these gateways here and get permission off of the Lord Mayor. Back over to our right hand, the windows there, that's the Oxo building. That was built in 1921. It was originally built to be a refrigerated cold meat warehouse. It's now though been converted into shops at the bottom there, and the middle luxury apartments, and at the top under that green glass canopy, a rather exclusive Harvey Nichols restaurant. So exclusive nobody's up there. Of London School for Boys. This is where many of our elder politicians and statesmen did attend as younger children. Doesn't make it a bad school though, because such fine people as Sir Winston Churchill, our war leader, did attend that school as young children. We're approaching a group of bridges now. These are the Blackfriars bridges. The first one we're going to pass under is the Blackfriars Road Bridge. Blackfriars, the old Blackfriars Monastery, which the bridges were named across the River Thames. This is the old Alexander Bridge. And sadly, a short while ago, the bridge did become unsafe due to the weight of the Monday train, and they had to remove the bridge. Now they couldn't take the side power station. Now with the help of a National Lottery grant that's now been converted into the Tate Modern Art Gallery, this is where the Tate has its modern art collection. Now it is free to go inside the Tate Modern, ladies and gentlemen, but if you've ever seen modern art, you understand why they haven't got the cheek to charge it. Now back over to your left hand side very shortly, you'll be able to... It stands 365 feet tall, 1 foot for every day of the year. So it did take 35 years to build, and it was completed in 1710. There's the bridge. Whereas of this being as the people across the bridge, it did sway violently from side to side. so it did remain closed for that there, that's a replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. That was built in the dream of American film producer Sam Wanamaker. It was opened in 1996 by the Queen. You only need some much can go inside the globe to see many of Shakespeare's plays reproduced in all the old traditional ways. There's no microphones or amplifiers in that building. Now the roof for more than 450 years. Many famous people have visited that tavern there, such as William Shakespeare. He rented an attic room as a changing room, as the original Globe Theatre did actually stand just on the right hand side where the Financial Times building is, the building with the lane glass. Other people to use that pub there are the famous diarist Samuel Pepys. Of the major European ports, and it's there for you to go aboard the explore. That's definitely well worth a visit. Now if you look at that ship there, that was actually crewed up by around 80 officers and gentlemen. So that was quite a lot of people on that small vessel, very small inside there. That's the Golden Pine there to our right hand side. Now in front of us we've got the London Bridge. Now there's been 4 London bridges to span the River Thames at this site. The first one built back over 2,000 years ago by the Romans. Now that one fell down, the second one was there, that burnt down.
I'm here,
Now once we clear London Bridge over to our left hand side, in between the gap in the buildings there, you'll see a tall stone column with a golden top piece. That's the monument to the Great Fire of London. It's called the Monument and it was designed by Christopher Wren. That stands 202 feet tall, and it said if that monument was laid down in an easterly direction, that would actually mark the spot in the Royal Bakeries and Pudding Lane where the Great Fire did start. Still on our left hand side, this blue glass building. That's the headquarters and training grounds of the London Window Cleaner Services. Give you a small clue, that's the old Billingsgate fish market. And there's been a market on that site for over 100 years, but about 12 years ago now the tradition was broken and the market has now been moved downstream to the docklands. Offices, apartments, its own pier there, it's even got its own rather expensive hospital.
Owned by the Royal Kuwaiti family, that's interesting. Here's Tower Bridge.
Yeah, she's in her camouflage colour. It's the HMS Belfast. Now the Belfast was brought in the heart of the Wolf Shipyard 1938. She was commissioned into the Royal Navy 1939. The Belfast has got 12 6-inch guns, 6, 5 and 6 on, and these are capable of firing a 100-weight shell over 14 land miles. Now the Belfast did help in the eventual sinking of the German pocket battleship the Charles. Here you will see a large glass building. This glass building here to the right of that there, that's the new offices of the Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. Now them buildings are built at a cost of £82 million. Now 2 million of that was actually spent on naming the building. It was given to a company, and after about 5 months thinking up of a name, they've come up with a great name of City Hall. That's £2 million of taxpayers' money well spent there. Now ahead of the boat, now we've got Tower Bridge, most famous bridge here on the River Thames. It's a stone bridge, it's a steel bridge, so it's actually clad in that stonework there to blend in with its neighbour, the Tower of London. Now the most famous part about the bridge, as you all probably do know, the centre roadways. Now these are called bascules, and each bascule weighs around 1,000 tonne each. They can be raised up into the vertical position to allow larger vessels into the output pole in around 90 seconds. Now the bridge isn't used that much now. About 20 years ago it would have been up and down 20-30 times a day. Now it's up 3 or 4 times a week. 78. Now all the different reigning monarchs of England, they've added their piece of history to the Tower of London. In the Tower's history, it's been many things. It's been the Royal Palace, it's been the Royal Mints, the Royal Observatory, it's even been the Royal Zoo. But the most famous part about the Tower of London, as you all probably do know, is for its reputation of torture and execution. Down the River Thames here, you'd be taken up through a Traitor's gate onto Tower Green. Your head would then be surgically removed by a rather sharp axe, then stuck on a spike, dipped in tar, and put on the south side of the old London